Brothers and sisters, every sunrise brings you two choices: to rise with purpose or to hit snooze and let another dream slip away. The truth is, success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who wake up with intention. Mornings are not just the start of your day. They are the foundation of your destiny. The people who build empires, who create wealth, transform their lives, they all have one thing in common: they mastered their mornings. When the world is quiet, that's when opportunities whisper the loudest. While most people are still sleeping, the successful ones are already planning, learning, and taking action. The morning is your secret weapon. It's where clarity meets courage and where dreams meet discipline. If you waste your mornings, you waste your potential. Each morning gives you a blank page, and what you write on it determines the story of your life. You don't need to be the smartest, or the waking up early with purpose is one of the most powerful decisions you can make to change the direction of your life. Every morning, the world gifts you with fresh time, fresh energy, and fresh opportunity. But only a few have the discipline to seize it. Most people see mornings as a struggle, a battle against the alarm clock, and a time to rush through routines half awake. But those who understand the real value of early mornings treat them as sacred. A time for clarity, creativity, and control over their destiny. When you wake up before the world, something magical happens. The noise fades away, distractions disappear, and your mind becomes sharp, focused, and open. Those quiet hours that your ideas come alive, your goals take shape, and your motivation finds fuel. Think about it. When everyone else is sleeping, you have the world to yourself. No messages, no demands, no interruptions. Just you and your mission. This is when the leaders, thinkers, and dreamers make their moves. Waking up early isn't about punishing yourself or forcing productivity. It's about gaining control. Most people start their day reacting to messages, problems, deadlines, or stress. But when you rise early, you start your day with intention. You choose what matters first. You get time to align your thoughts, plan your actions, and focus on what truly drives you. It's not just about waking up early. It's about waking up with a reason. Ask yourself, why am I getting out of bed today? What am I working toward? What version of myself am I trying to build? When you attach purpose to your mornings, waking up becomes easier because it's no longer a routine. It's a mission. That sense of purpose is what separates those who drift through life from those who design it. There's a simple truth: success belongs to those who own their mornings. The most successful people don't wait for motivation, they create it. They don't wake up when they feel like it, they wake up because they have something to live for. That's the energy you need to bring into every morning. Each sunrise is a reminder that life has given you another chance to move forward, to make progress, to outgrow your yesterday. When you wake up early, you are no longer competing with others. You're competing with your old self. You start to develop momentum before the rest of the world even begins its day. Imagine what it feels like to have already worked out, read something inspiring, planned your goals, or made progress on a project while others are just opening their eyes. That head start creates confidence, discipline, and a quiet sense of power that grows over time. Waking up early also trains your mind to be stronger than your excuses. The moment your alarm rings, there's a small battle. One voice says, "Stay in bed," and another whispers, "Get up and grow." Every time you choose the second voice, you strengthen your willpower. Discipline is built in these small choices, and that discipline spreads into every area of your life. Business, relationships, health, and personal growth. The early morning hours are also when your mind is most receptive. Science proves that your brain functions at its highest creativity and focus after rest. That's why many great thinkers, leaders, and innovators do their best work before sunrise. It's the perfect time to visualize your goals, journal your thoughts, meditate, or learn something new. Absorb information faster, think clearer, and make decisions with more confidence because your mind isn't clouded by distractions yet. When you wake up early, also align yourself with nature's rhythm. The sun rises, the world awakens, and you rise with it. There's a natural flow of energy in those hours. Calm, steady, and powerful. Breathing in the morning air, seeing the first light, and feeling the silence can do wonders for your mindset. It reminds you that life is bigger than yesterday's problems and that every day is a new beginning waiting to be claimed. But waking up early is not just about the time, it's about the mindset behind it. You can wake up at 5 a.m. and still waste your morning scrolling on your phone. Purpose gives meaning to the time you create. Before you sleep, decide what your morning will look like. Set goals, prepare your environment, and give your mind something to wake up for. When your mornings have direction, you don't need to force productivity. It comes naturally. It's also important to understand that waking up early doesn't mean sacrificing sleep. Rest is fuel for success. The goal isn't to wake up tired, wake up ready. That means going to bed earlier, creating a nighttime routine, and respecting your body's need for recovery. The earlier you rest, the earlier you rise, and the better your energy becomes throughout the day. As you begin to wake up early with purpose, you'll notice subtle changes. Your days feel longer, yet lighter. You stop rushing through tasks because you already started ahead. You begin to feel more in control, more organized, more confident. People will start asking, "How do you manage so much?" And you'll know the secret. It's not about managing time. It's about mastering mornings. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one often comes down to how you use the first few hours of your day. Every great achievement starts with a simple decision. To rise earlier than your doubts, earlier than your fears, earlier than your comfort. When you wake up early with purpose, you don't just start your day. You start building your future, one disciplined morning at a time. Planning your day before the world wakes up is the secret weapon of every successful person. The quiet moments of early morning hold a kind of magic that disappears once the world starts moving. Before notifications start buzzing, before meetings begin, before people demand your attention, there's a space, a calm, powerful space, where you can think clearly and set the direction for your entire day. In that silence, your thoughts are your own, your focus is undisturbed, and your goals can finally take shape. Most people wake up and instantly dive into chaos, reacting to everything that comes their way. But those who plan their day early are not reacting. They are leading. When you start your morning with a plan, claim authority over your time. You no longer drift from one task to another wondering where the hours went. You know exactly what matters most, what deserves your energy, and what doesn't. Planning before the world wakes up means you're not competing for focus. You already have it. Your mind is calm, your body is rested, and your thoughts are pure. This is the moment to decide what kind of day you'll live, what progress you'll make, and what kind of person you'll become by the end of it. A day without a plan is like a ship without a compass. It may move, but it won't reach anywhere meaningful. Every morning, ask yourself simple but powerful questions. What are my top priorities today? What will bring me closer to my bigger vision? What distractions must I avoid? When you define these early, you set the tone for success. Create a roadmap for your energy, ensuring it flows into the things that truly matter instead of being scattered across meaningless activities. Planning early is not just about writing a to-do list. It's about creating direction. A list is mechanical, but direction is intentional. It's not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things. Many people confuse being busy with being productive, but the two are worlds apart. When you plan your day before the world wakes up, you gain clarity that prevents you from confusing motion with progress. You stop chasing everything that screams for attention and start moving towards what truly deserves it. This early planning habit builds mental discipline. It tells your mind that you are in control. It prevents you from being dragged by other people's urgencies and instead allows you to focus on your own goals. Stop living according to the demands of others and start living according to your own vision. The world will always throw distractions at you, but a planned morning acts like armor. It keeps you centered no matter how chaotic the day becomes. There's a psychological power in starting your day with structure. The human brain loves certainty and direction. When you already know your path for the day, your mind becomes calmer, your anxiety drops, and your productivity rises. You move with confidence because you're not guessing what comes next. This clarity gives you energy. It creates momentum. You begin the day not as someone trying to survive it, but as someone determined to conquer it. When you plan before the world wakes up, you also connect with your purpose. You give yourself the time to reflect on your long-term vision, not just your short-term tasks. You can ask yourself if what you're doing today aligns with who you want to become tomorrow. That moment of reflection sharpens your decisions. It makes you more strategic and intentional about where your time goes. Instead of living in reaction, you begin to live in creation. Great achievers understand that time is the real currency of success. You can earn money back, but you can never earn time back. That's why they protect their mornings so fiercely. They know that once the day begins, distractions multiply. Phone calls, messages, noise, and obligations. But in those first hours, before the world interferes, they can think deeply, prioritize wisely, and act deliberately. That's how they stay ahead while others struggle to catch up. Planning your day early also allows you to focus on your inner world before the outer one invades. You can visualize your goals, remind yourself of your values, and mentally rehearse the success you want to create. Visualization is not just imagination, it's preparation. When you see your day clearly in your mind, your actions naturally align with that image. You start attracting results because your focus sharpens and your confidence strengthens. One of the most effective ways to plan is to divide your goals into priorities. What must be done, what should be done, and what can wait. By doing this early, prevent overwhelm. You already know which battles are worth fighting. You move through the day with purpose instead of panic. Every hour becomes intentional, effort meaningful. Early planning also gives you emotional stability. When your day is planned, stress reduces because uncertainty reduces. You're not constantly wondering what's next or worrying about forgetting something important. You know your roadmap, and that peace of mind gives you energy to perform better. It helps you respond to challenges with clarity rather than chaos. When you plan your day before the world wakes up, you also create time for gratitude. You can look ahead and appreciate the opportunities in front of you, instead of starting the day with complaints or worries. That simple shift in mindset, from reacting to appreciating, changes how you see your world. Gratitude grounds you and gives you motivation to handle whatever comes. Every minute spent planning early saves hours of wasted effort later. Without a plan, you get pulled in every direction, drained by distractions that add no value. But with a morning plan, you create flow. Move seamlessly from one meaningful action to the next. You work smarter, not harder. You accomplish more, but with less stress. The best part is that planning your day early builds consistency. Over time, your mornings stop being chaotic and start becoming predictable sources of power. Your mind knows what to expect, your habits align naturally, and your focus becomes unbreakable. You stop chasing balance. You create it. Planning your day before the world wakes up is not a luxury, it's a necessity for anyone who wants to lead instead of follow. The discipline that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. When you control your mornings, you control your direction. When you control your direction, you control your destiny. Focusing on learning and self-growth every morning is one of the most powerful habits that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. The morning is not just a time to prepare your body for the day. It's the perfect time to feed your mind and soul. When you wake up and choose to learn before you do anything else, you're sending a clear message to yourself. Growth is my priority. Most people begin their day scrolling through distractions or reacting to notifications, but the ones who achieve greatness start their day by investing in knowledge. They understand that the quality of their thoughts determines the quality of their life, and the morning is when the mind is most open, clear, and capable of absorbing new wisdom. The early hours of the day are sacred because your mind hasn't yet been filled with noise. There are no opinions, no comparisons, no outside pressure, only space for reflection and growth. This is when you can learn with real focus. Whether you're reading a few pages of a book, listening to a podcast, writing your thoughts, or learning a new skill, that quiet morning learning shapes the rest of your day. It's like planting seeds of wisdom that grow throughout the hours that follow. When you start your day by learning, your mindset changes from "I have to" "I get to." You stop reacting to life and start designing it with intelligence. Learning every morning is not about the amount of time you spend. It's about the consistency. Even 15 minutes of deep learning every morning can change the way you think, work, and make decisions. Imagine reading a few pages of a powerful book every day, learning a new concept daily, or reflecting on a quote that challenges your mindset. Over weeks and months, these small efforts compound. You begin to think differently, speak differently, and act differently. You start seeing opportunities that others miss because your mind has been trained to look beyond the obvious. Growth isn't built in a day, but it is built every day. When you make learning your first priority in the morning, you take control of your mental environment. You decide what enters your mind before the world tries to fill it with negativity or distractions. The first input of your day has a massive impact on your energy and focus. If you start with learning, your mind becomes sharper, calmer, and more solution-oriented. You gain perspective. You stop being overwhelmed by problems because you start understanding how to handle them with wisdom. The knowledge you feed yourself in the morning becomes the armor you wear throughout the day. The habit of morning learning also strengthens discipline. It takes effort to choose a book over your phone, to choose growth over comfort. But each time you make that choice, you reinforce a mindset that says, "I am responsible for my own progress." You stop waiting for someone to teach you and start teaching yourself. That's the mindset of leaders, creators. They don't wait for the perfect time to grow. They create it every morning. Morning learning also connects you to your long-term vision. When you study, reflect, or journal early in the day, you remind yourself of your purpose. You align your daily actions with your bigger dreams. It's easy to get lost in daily struggles and forget what you're truly working for, but learning grounds you. It keeps you focused on the person you're becoming, not just the tasks you're completing. Each morning becomes a small step toward a greater version of yourself. The morning is also the best time to practice mindfulness through learning. When you read something meaningful, your mind becomes calm yet alert. It's not just about collecting information, it's about transformation. You start to understand yourself better, your strengths, weaknesses, emotions, and patterns. That awareness is the foundation of growth. When you know yourself deeply, you make wiser decisions and live with more purpose. There's also power in repetition during morning learning. The more often you expose your mind to positive and empowering ideas, the stronger those ideas become. Your thoughts slowly shift from doubt to confidence, from fear to courage, from excuses to action. Over time, you start living by the principles you learn. Stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I will." That shift doesn't happen overnight, but it begins with consistent learning. Every morning, the question is not whether you have time to learn, but whether you value growth enough to make time. The world moves fast, and knowledge is power. The more you know, the more capable you become of creating opportunities, solving problems, and leading others. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who keep evolving is simple. One keeps complaining, the other keeps learning. The morning is the perfect time to build that mindset because it's when your willpower is strongest. Brain's energy isn't yet spent on 1,000 decisions, so you can focus fully. You can read with attention, reflect deeply, and apply what you learn with clarity. Even if it's just one lesson a day, over time it becomes part of your identity. You become someone who grows daily, and that identity transforms every area of your life. Learning every morning doesn't have to mean reading only books. It can mean studying your past decisions, journaling lessons from yesterday, or watching something that fuels your ambition. It's about filling your mind with thoughts that elevate you. What you feed your mind becomes who you are. If you feed it doubt, you'll live with fear. If you feed it wisdom, you'll live with confidence. Morning learning helps you choose the second path every day. The habit also builds emotional intelligence. When you start your day with learning, start understanding how to handle emotions, relationships, and challenges more effectively. You stop reacting impulsively and start responding intelligently. Growth in knowledge becomes growth in maturity. You handle setbacks differently because your mind is trained to see lessons, not losses. Focusing on self-growth each morning is a form of self-respect. It means you care enough about your future to invest in your mind before investing in the noise of the world. It means you choose evolution over stagnation. When you grow mentally, everything else in life begins to grow with you. Your confidence, your career, your relationships, and your peace. The best investment you can ever make is not in things, but in your own understanding. Every morning is a new chance to make that investment count. Building discipline through consistent morning habits is one of the greatest strengths you can develop if you want to change your life. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you build one choice at a time, one morning at a time. The way you start your day determines how strong your mindset becomes, and mornings are the perfect training ground for that strength. When you wake up early and commit to certain habits every single day, you are training your mind to obey your purpose instead of your emotions. You are teaching yourself that progress is not about motivation, it is about consistency. Discipline is built in the moments when no one is watching. Built when your alarm rings and your body says, 5 more minutes. But your purpose says, get up. It's built when you choose to follow your plan instead of your mood. Every time you win that small battle in the morning, you are becoming stronger. That single act of self-control spreads through the rest of your day. It affects how you work, how you think, and how you react to challenges. Consistency is what turns ordinary routines into extraordinary results, and mornings give you the best opportunity to practice it. When you create a morning routine and stick to it daily, remove the need for constant decision making. You don't waste energy thinking about what to do next because your actions are already defined. That structure gives your mind clarity and your day momentum. It might start simple, waking up at a fixed time, exercising, reading, meditating, or writing your goals. What matters most is that you do it every day, not when it's convenient, but when it's necessary. Over time, these consistent actions start to rewire your identity. You no longer see yourself as someone who tries. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. Consistency builds credibility with yourself. Every time you keep a promise you made to your own mind, your self-respect grows. You start trusting yourself more. That trust becomes the foundation of confidence. You begin to believe that if you say you will do something, you actually will. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they break the small promises they make to themselves. The morning is where you can fix that. It's the time when you can rebuild trust with yourself, one small commitment at a time. Discipline is not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. There will be mornings when you don't feel like doing your routine. There will be days when your mind will search for excuses, but discipline means showing up anyway. It's not the grand moments of motivation that define your growth. It's the quiet mornings when you choose to keep going despite resistance. Those are the moments that shape character. Success doesn't come from intensity, it comes from consistency. It's not about how hard you work once, about how regularly you show up. Morning habits have another powerful effect. They eliminate chaos. When your mornings are organized, your entire day follows in rhythm. You begin your day with a sense of control and order instead of confusion. That order creates peace of mind. You don't feel rushed, and you don't start your day reacting to the world. You start with purpose and calmness. This emotional stability is a direct product of discipline. The more structured your mornings become, the less room you leave for anxiety, procrastination, or distraction. Each habit you build in the morning is a message to your subconscious mind. When you wake up on time, it tells your mind that your goals matter. When you work out, it tells your body that you value strength. When you learn something new, it tells your spirit that you value growth. Over time, these messages shape how you think and who you become. Habits are powerful because they remove the need for willpower. What you repeat becomes automatic. Once your morning habits become automatic, your discipline becomes effortless. Discipline in the morning also protects your focus. The world is full of noise, and distractions compete for your attention the moment you wake up. But if you train your mind through consistent morning actions, you learn how to stay focused on what matters. You stop letting the outside world control your direction. The discipline you build early in the day becomes the shield that protects your focus later in the day. You start to live with intention, not impulse. The beauty of morning discipline is that it compounds. The small actions that feel insignificant today create massive results over time. Waking up early, reading, meditating, exercising, journaling. They may seem simple, but their combined effect is transformative. They build a foundation of strength, confidence, and clarity that grows stronger every single day. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes to sustain that growth. Your habits become part of your identity, and once that happens, success becomes natural. There's a quiet kind of pride that comes with discipline. The feeling of knowing that you control your life. You no longer depend on moods, luck, or external motivation. You wake up, you act, move forward, no matter what. That self-control is rare, and it's what makes you stand out. People notice discipline because it radiates through your presence. It's not loud, but it's powerful. It shows in the way you walk, talk, and handle your responsibilities. Building discipline through morning habits also trains you to manage discomfort. Growth never feels comfortable, especially in the beginning. But when you repeatedly push yourself to do what's necessary instead of what's easy, your threshold for discomfort expands. Become resilient. You stop running from challenges and start facing them with strength. Morning discipline toughens your mindset so that when life tests you, remain steady. When you repeat your morning habits long enough, discipline stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like peace. No longer struggle to get up or force yourself to stay consistent. It becomes who you are. The structure of your morning gives you freedom throughout the day. You no longer waste time overthinking or regretting. You move with direction. Every small disciplined act contributes to a larger vision that keeps growing stronger with time. Morning discipline is where transformation truly begins. It's where excuses lose their power and consistency takes over. It's where chaos turns into clarity and weakness turns into strength. The person who masters their mornings doesn't need to chase motivation. They create it. Every consistent action taken in the quiet of the morning becomes the silent architect of a stronger, more focused, and unstoppable version of yourself. Protecting your energy and mindset at the start of the day is one of the most valuable habits you can ever develop. The way you feel and think in the first few hours after waking up decides how the rest of your day will unfold. If your morning begins with peace, focus, clarity, you carry that power into everything you do. But if it starts with noise, distraction, and negativity, that energy follows you all day long. Most people underestimate how fragile their morning mindset is. They let the outside world enter before they've even built their inner world. They wake up and immediately scroll through social media, compare their lives, read the news, and absorb stress that doesn't belong to them. In doing so, they hand over control of their mood, focus, and energy before the day has even begun. Protecting your energy means choosing not to let that happen. The first moments after you wake up are your foundation. Your mind is still soft, impressionable, and open. What you feed it first will shape your thoughts and emotions for the rest of the day. That's why it's essential to begin your morning with silence, gratitude, and intentional focus. When you take a few minutes to breathe deeply, think positively, and center yourself, you anchor your energy. You remind yourself that you are in charge of your mood and mindset. This inner calm becomes a shield against whatever challenges or chaos may come later. Is your most valuable currency. You can have time, talent, and opportunities, but without energy, none of them matter. Protecting your energy doesn't mean avoiding effort or work. It means channeling your energy toward what truly deserves it. Every morning, you must decide where your focus will go. Will you give your energy to distractions, complaints, and negativity? Or will you invest it in growth, gratitude, progress? That single decision can transform how you experience your day. When you start your day by protecting your energy, you set emotional boundaries. Tell yourself, my peace matters. You choose not to rush. You choose not to be consumed by anxiety. You move through your morning slowly and deliberately, giving your mind the chance to wake up with grace. Whether that means stretching, meditating, writing your thoughts, or simply drinking water in silence, these small acts of mindfulness help you build emotional strength. They remind you that peace is not found. It's created, and the morning is the best time to create it. One of the biggest energy leaks in the morning comes from overexposure to information. Checking messages, emails, or social media immediately after waking up floods your brain with other people's priorities and emotions. Before you've even spoken to yourself, already heard from the world. That creates mental chaos. Protecting your mindset means delaying that noise. Give yourself at least the first hour of your day to think your own thoughts, plan your own goals, and feel your own emotions. This simple act of detachment builds focus and clarity. Protecting your energy also means protecting your environment. The energy around you directly affects the energy within you. Keep your morning space clean, organized, and calm. The light, the sounds, air, all of it influences how you feel. A messy or noisy environment makes your mind restless, while a calm and clear space encourages a calm and clear mind. Surround yourself with things that inspire you, a meaningful quote, natural light, uplifting sounds, or even just silence. Subtle cues shape your mindset more than you realize. Another way to protect your energy is through gratitude. The moment you wake up, instead of thinking about what's missing, think about what's already there. Gratitude instantly shifts your frequency from lack to abundance. It reminds you that no matter how challenging life gets, there's still something good within reach. This positive mindset fuels motivation and builds resilience. When you start your morning with appreciation instead of complaint, you automatically attract better thoughts and better results. Mindset protection also involves controlling your self-talk. The words you speak to yourself in the morning create the script for your entire day. Tell yourself, I'm tired, I can't, I don't want to. You drain your own energy before doing anything. But if you say, I'm ready, I'm capable, I'm grateful, you activate strength. Your subconscious mind believes what you repeatedly tell it, and the morning is when it listens the most. Choose empowering thoughts and repeat them until they become your natural state. Energy is also influenced by what you consume physically. The first thing you put into your body affects your alertness, focus, and emotional balance. Hydrate your body, eat something nourishing, and move. Even a short stretch or walk can awaken your energy. Physical movement isn't just about fitness, it's about activating your spirit. When you move your body, you release stress, improve mood, and clear your mind.